Anyway, let's do some games. And let's go live. Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today we are back with a brand new adventure, The Curse of Strahd. We return once again to the realms of Barovia in the year of 2017, almost a full year since we last entered Barovia for a full season. And we're pretty excited to be back with a whole new cast and crew to join us today. Some new faces, some old ones, some tired faces. Well, just Gareth, to be honest. And let's go around the cast and crew, figure out who we are and who we are playing today. So let's start just above me, to my left, with Rem, to Insomniacs Inc. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, doing all right. It's me, Rem, and also known as Insomniacs Inc. I've been here for a while, but this character, I'm very excited to play this Curse of Strahd game because I've been playing Curse of Strahd all week, and what's better than more Strahd? My character is Hiram Shanks. He is a lizard folk sorcerer, and he out from the woods a little bit. So we gonna see how he gonna do doing this here adventure here in Strahd. So
fantastic.
That's all there is to say.
Nice. We also have just above me on my right, Sil Fulu. How's it going, Sil?
Hi. It's been a while since I've been on one of your shows. So
that must have been early 2016 since last we've seen you.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm excited to be back. So I'm Sil Fulu. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, and I'm going to be playing Alia Golden Dawn. She's a wood elf cleric, and I've played Strahd before as well. So this should be interesting. Very excited to see a new take on it.
Sweet. We also have Mr. Scarred Star back with us today. Gareth, how you doing?
Hello. Well, yeah. There's loads of Americans everywhere.
I know, I'm scared.
What's that? It's weird. They're all talking American about American things.
I'm flying to Canada tonight just to avoid
They want to throw my tea in the ocean.
How you doing?
I'm really good. I'm tired. I've missed you guys. It's been I think this is the longest time in 2 years that we've not spoken to each other. Well,
yeah,
it's
feels
bizarre,
good, doesn't it?
Well, that restraining order finally worked.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good to play. I'm really excited to come back to Strahd. Strahd is the best campaign I've ever played in. It's my finest kind of role play game that I've ever done. That the whole set before I was incredibly proud of. So I'm looking to see how this group of wanker Americans can ruin it all. But I'm really excited, and I'm playing a bit of a weird character as well. But I'm guessing we'll do that soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about characters in a little bit. We also have Mr. Zippy Zippo joining us today. How you doing?
Hello. I'm Zippy Zippo. I am super excited to be here. I love reading through The Curse of Strahd. I've only played a whole 5 minutes of it, but this is going to be great. I'm bringing one of my favorite characters that I've ever kind of conceptualized. His name is Oberon Glitleaf. He's a wood elf ranger, and he came to Barovia through the mists from another plane.
Interesting. We also have Sydney with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been packing because we're going to Canada.
Yeah, I need to do that.
It's a good day.
Fantastic. So, who are you going to be playing?
I'm playing Lorna. Doesn't have a last name because I think we know by now I never ever pick out last names ever for any character or any project. I just don't think about
In fact, in real life, you don't have a last name either.
Yeah, so I guess I'll have to take yours eventually if you'll ever get to it.
Walked into
I thought her surname was Nee. I thought it was Sid Nee.
Sid Nee, yeah.
Anyway, I'm playing Lorna. She is a human druid who's sort of been kicked out by her family, so she's friends with a bunch of creepy crawlers and speaks to bats and things like that.
Normal stuff.
Normal teenage stuff.
Normal stuff in America. Okay.
Just that emo phase.
Yeah. All right. A lot of My Chemical Romance on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Before we meet our characters properly, before we begin our adventure, truly. Let's remind you guys of how to interact with today's show. The first way to do so is, of course, by following. If you haven't yet followed, hit that follow button and join us. We have hit a viewer decision at the end of the very last episode, so we're going to bring in one at the beginning of today's episode as well. Here is the tweet for you guys. We hit 20 retweets. You guys get to decide something which happens next in our campaign as well. Could be a good thing, but let's be honest, it's Barovia. It's going to be a pretty bad thing. So you may decide that a monster comes upon the party, or you may decide that I ask you guys to name a ancient eldritch book, and you guys can have some fun deciding on what they might find within. Of course, you can subscribe as well to support the channel, and you can check out our new updated Patreon as well to get monthly RPG adventures. But of course, you can donate to affect the game as well. You can give players nat 1s, you can give players nat 20s if you want, and of course, most importantly, you can give players wild magic surges on our D10,000 wild magic table, specifically designed to screw with these guys at every available opportunity. Let's go around the table real quick. And in fact, before I do that, I should note a couple of things about this campaign which might be a little bit different from your average D&D campaign. Of course, we're in the realms of Barovia, which are a dark fantasy setting. Less high fantasy, less elves gallivanting around, curling their hair and saving princesses in towers. More, the princess in the tower has been dead for 1,000 years. She's now a zombie and is going to eat your brain. That's the kind of the start of the campaign. The campaign itself, of course, is also a bit deadlier than your average 5e campaign. Also, it's a different realm as well, which means that magic, divine things, and pretty much everything that you are familiar with in 5e, in terms of the Forgotten Realms, may act differently and be strange in this place, because Barovia has its own master, and he's inviting you all to dinner. We'll get to that in a minute. The other thing is, as well, is the stream, the content of the game will be a little bit more graphic than you'd be maybe used to in your average Faerun stuff. That's right, Gareth. We're going there again. And nothing's off the table. Well, there is that one thing, but we don't talk about that, Gareth. So let's go around the cast and crew, and let's learn a little bit more about your characters as they would have been in the Forgotten Realms. Your average day, your average job, I suppose. Are you an adventurer? Are you a mercenary sellsword? And some suggestions, perhaps, as to maybe how you've entered into this new realm, but we're going to screw with you guys as well. So let's start with learning a little bit about Twig, the dwarf barbarian.
Okay, so I've gone a little bit weird. First of all, I rolled my lowest roll for a stat I've ever done, which is a 4. And also, I've put that into my charisma. When I normally tend to try and play high charisma, I like to talk. I like the sound of my own voice a lot. So it's going to be weird kind of playing a little different version of that. But I've taken, basically, I'm playing a weird kind of dark, skewed version of Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
Okay.
So imagine Mowgli had been in the forest or the jungle for about 20 years. He didn't know who his parents were. And like the animals that he talks to, they're in his head pretty much. But he kind of roams the forest. He wears just a pair of trousers. He carries a club. And he's very much keeps to himself. There's been druids that have come to study him and talk him kind of rudimentary English. So, common, so he can speak. But he's a bit of a messed up little fella. I think that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. So you live in the jungle, correct? Do you have
foresty jungle. So what do you need kind of our lead in and how we kind of ended up in Barovia?
No, we're gonna pick up with you in your normal day, I suppose. Do you have a tree house? Do you have a cabin?
Yeah, so I imagine a lot of my time is kind of foraging for food, maybe speaking to some of the birds or something like that, which of course I converse with, and I've given names to them all. And I'm just kind of keeping to myself, strolling around, eating some berries,
of course,
scratching myself,
as one does. And thank you to Potter Chat for subscribing. I appreciate that, my friend, very much. Yes, so you're having your normal day, and you notice that some of the animals are acting a little stranger than than there usually would be. There is a group of ants. There's like a colony of ants that exist in these trees, you know, like big leafcutter ants. And they've always been fairly friendly to you. You keep your distance from them because you know how industrious and hard-working they are. However, they no longer seem to be cutting down leaves, and this huge kind of swarm of army-like ants just working, going back and forth, are strangely no longer moving. They've stopped, as if standing still, at attention to something. And this is the first thing which seems odd to Twig.
So if I kind of, I do also scrabble around on all fours most of the time as well, as that's the way I've kind of learned to walk. So I'll kind of walk up and have a sniff, maybe take a stick from the ground and maybe poke one of them. You okay?
The ants don't seem to be reacting to you being close to them or speaking with them. There's no reply from what you'd be familiar with, the unison of voices that speak back to you through the kind of ant hive mind.
I start like reading off now. Dennis, Andrew, and why are you mad at me again? Did I go somewhere I shouldn't have gone? What's happening?
You notice that there's a strange green mist which is it looks like permeated through the ants when they begin to like move their little like legs together, you know, the way that they can like sense or like clean their little arms. And as they move them back almost in unison together, the kind of tens of thousands of them, strange green mist begins to permeate around you.
I imagine that's just sheer terror. This is something like I've lived in this forest and known kind of the beats of everything that happens. So this kind of well out of character thing would throw me off. I start scrambling up a tree, like frantically pulling myself up the branches.
Yeah, your hasty retreat isn't quite fast enough, as the swarm of ants just begin to kind of go faster and faster, and this strange mist pours out from their tiny insectoid bodies. And you feel yourself as you're climbing up the tree, your foot misses a foothold, and you slip, and you inhale in this thick, gaseous, misty substance which inhales into your lungs, and you can feel it burning corrosively inside of you. Your vision begins to wane, and you feel yourself falling from the tree as if there's nothing you can do about it, and you feel strangely out of your own body as you fall in what feels like slow motion down towards the ants. And as you awaken, you find yourself in a room, and you don't remember having hit the ground. All you remember is that you were falling at one point, and no longer are you falling. Instead, in this room, there is a table, and on the table there is a piece of parchment. The room is 10 foot by 10 foot, no particularly interesting features or furniture other than the table, and there's a door that is out.
So I can't read? Is that going to throw things off?
No, not at all.
I kind of like just... So there's a kind of a quietness around me, like first of all it's panic, and then I realize I'm stuck in this room, and this is the most confined I've been for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So like, I imagine like the flight or fight takes, and I realize there's nowhere to go. Like I don't really, I could. Is the door made out of wood?
It is.
I'll go and like frantically start clawing and banging on the door, in comparison to like a stone wall.
Right, yeah. The walls themselves are actually wood as well. It looks like this is a kind of wooden hut. You know, it's thick, strong oak, a darker oak than the trees in which you are familiar living amongst. And you try and batter down the door. it doesn't work particularly well until your fists are kind of bloodied, your fingernails have tried to scrape against it, and this horrible feeling of claustrophobia just seeps in around you, and that fear of being trapped really cuts Twig quite deeply, and he feels very kind of surrounded by the strange atmosphere with no windows and no knowledge of where he is. And you turn back to the parchment and you can't read the thing, but there's no writing on it. It's just this empty piece of parchment. And in your, I suppose, desperation and despair, you touch the paper and the blood from your hands. You pick up the paper to see if there's anything on the other side, maybe, or if there's anything you can use this for. The blood from your hands, where you've scraped against the walls, infuses itself and drips onto the paper, and the paper seems to absorb the blood. And where you'd be used to seeing this, red stain across the piece of parchment, instead it just completely disappears, as though it's gone through the other side. But you look on the other side and there's nothing there. And the words form on the parchment which you don't understand. You can't read these words, but something other, something unknowable, speaks that message into your heart, into your, perhaps even your soul, if you believe that there is such a thing. And it says, "Welcome. You may be scared, but don't be."
I'm spinning in circles at this point, looking for this voice. Who are you? Where are you?
The child that once was, now rules over these lands. The former master needs your assistance.
But this is not my place. This is not home. This is not home. This is not. I kind of crouch into the corner and start rocking. This is not home. This is not my place. Not my place.
You're right. This is not your home.
Help me out. I did nothing. I promise. I did nothing.
There is no way back. There is only forwards now.
Get me. I need to be outside. I need to see sky. I need to see floor. I can't be in box. Can't be in box.
You will serve the former master. And then you
yes,
will go outside.
I can't be in box. I do say let me out.
Very well.
He's he's covered in blood. Tears are streaming down his face, and he's drooling. He's like, this is the most alien fucking thing. And he's struggling. Just let me out. I do what you say, please. Please.
Take this, and a dark obsidian black stone, about the size of your hand, appears on the table.
Take where? Take where?
With you, on your way out.
I pick it up and just quickly eye it over in my hand.
Seems like a jet black stone. Kind of sharp.
Okay. I take. I've got just a saggy pair of trousers that I've stolen from somewhere, and I put in the pocket. I take. I not lose to keep this.
That's right.
Let me go, please.
The door swings open.
And he sprints as fast as he can out of the door.
All right, and let's cut to Oberon. Oberon, same questions. What do you look like, and where would we find you?
Oberon is a relatively... He's not young, but he's not an old elf. He's around 500 years old. He's about 5'9". He has very olive fair skin, long light brown hair that he keeps tied back in a ponytail. One of his most notable features is wood elves on his plane the males have stag horns growing out of their forehead. So he has these beautiful stag-like horns, antlers, growing from his forehead. He's clad in hide armor. He has a long sword sheathed on his side, but he hardly ever uses it. He prefers his longbow. At the present time, it has been 5 years after a great war of his people called the Season of Decay, where a cult of necromancers led a legion of undead on his home, the Great Wood. In his home, there are 4 palaces that, depending on when you're born, every wood elf in the Great Wood is assigned to a certain palace. Oberon is part of the Palace of Autumn. There's a Palace of Summer, Spring, and Winter. Winter was destroyed. All the wood elves of Winter were destroyed, so the necromancers could take refuge in that palace to get at the ley lines that lie beneath every palace. So a normal day for him is scouting out the Palace of Winter to make sure that all the undead has been eradicated. This war has been going on for 50 years. Oberon was an officer in the Wood Elf army, so he has some skill with dealing with the undead. It is his favorite enemy, mechanical wise. Yeah. And he would currently be traveling with a group of other Wood Elf Rangers, also from the Palace of Autumn, and making sure that the woods are clear from undead.
Fantastic. So you're traveling with your band of rangers. Your companion Galen, he is one of the, I suppose, one of your closer friends and scouting companions. He's been, as you guys are around your kind of campfire, he's been out scouting, and he says, Oberon, come with me. I think I found something you'd be interested in.
All right. What is it?
He brings you over through the forest, walking for 10 minutes or so in silence, and he says, something's wrong with the creatures of the woods round here, as though the taint of evil and undeath is around them. And he like points up to this like nest of spiders that are up in the trees, and he says, they're behaving strangely. They won't speak to me.
I look at the spiders. Do I notice anything off about their nest?
Yeah. The nest itself seems to be like this big sort of like cocoon almost, but it looks kind of fleshy, like a fleshy cocoon. You know, like it's dripping.
That's not right. Galen, go gather the other rangers. I'm going to vivisect this cocoon. Clear out all the local inhabitants. Any person who's set up any kind of house or camp around here must be evacuated immediately, just in case anything goes awry.
He nods and says, "Be careful, brother."
You too. So I clamber up the tree as gracefully as I can, and I draw my longsword, and I attempt to jam it into the fleshy cocoon, mm-hmm. and try to give like a nice slice down the middle to kind of cut it open.
Yeah, it's a sack of like undead, or certainly at least very long dead, rotten flesh. Completely unnatural for any spider to live inside it. It's, it's wet, it's oozing what looks to be like a black pussy substance, and it looks like it has boils and cancers on it. As you cut it down from the tree, and the spiders around it kind of scatter from the disturbance of their nest, the sack falls with a wet kind of down onto the ground and splats everywhere. The messy meat globules fly into the ground and disperse a green mist out the area around the tree, which climbs swiftly towards you.
What kind of magic is this?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's a 10.
You know it certainly ain't good, but you're not sure exactly what type of magic this is.
Okay. I think the first instinct for Oberon would be to jump from one tree limb to the next, kind of like Tarzan style, and trying to get away from the mist as quickly as possible.
Yeah. You climb up the tree, you jump from tree to tree. The mist seems to follow you inexorably. It chases you, it hunts you, and you realize that it's gaining quite a lot of momentum and speed on you. It's getting closer and closer, and you realize one thing as you rush back towards your camp. If you head back towards your friends, they are likely to be devoured by this mist as well.
I stop for a moment and take in the thought of if I go back to camp, I'll lead this mist to my friends. So I turn to face the mist, and I give it a look. Is there a smell to it?
It smells rotten, like rotten eggs.
Okay, it smells like rotten eggs. Oberon is just going to about face and then jump straight through the mist.
Okay. Yes, it warps around you, envelops you in its warm and rotten grasp, and you sense that time begins to slow. You're going to sort of feels like what is slow motion, like you're moving through treacle, until your eyes are burning, like watering as the mist enters around your eyes, and eventually close and blink, and you open them, and you find yourself in a room. And there's a table in this 10 by 10 room with a piece of paper on it.
Oberon kind of like exits the mist with like a hacking cough kind of deal. And as soon as he realizes that he is no longer in the woods, he begins to move cautiously about the room. He notices the paper, but is there anything suspicious about the room, or is it just kind of like a blank void?
It's empty. It's made out of a dark wood, which you'd think to be some kind of oak, or some kind of type of oak. It's certainly not a tree that you're familiar with in your realm. There are no creatures or critters down in the corners. There are no spiders in the cobwebs in the corner of the room. No rats running round. There's a door in front which is closed, and no windows.
Okay. He makes his way over to the piece of paper and he picks it up.
It is empty. There's nothing on the piece of paper, but as you turn it over, see if there's anything on the other side, look for any hidden magics with it or something like that. You see appearing on the piece of paper, which is written, and of course in your own head, you hear this voice of a woman. Welcome. You are not at home.
Well, that is apparent.
And the voice speaks again, and the words appear on the piece of paper. We hope that you can be useful to us. The child that once was now rules over these lands. And a new master is in charge. The former master needs your assistance.
Well, wow, that is very cryptic. Though I would love to stay, I have a duty to get back to in the Great Wood. So, if you could point me to the nearest door back to the woods, I would most appreciate it.
Once you enter the gates, there is no returning.
I didn't enter the gates. The gates just kind of chased me.
I didn't say that you did. But now you are here, and no longer there. Now the way is forwards only.
All right. Well, yeah, he takes the paper and he kind of crumples it and tosses it into the corner. All right. Well, what do you need me to do?
Walk out the door.
Whoa. That's how we got into this whole predicament in the first place.
You can stay here if you like, or you can walk out the door.
Well, yep. I guess that's the only true option. I can't stay in this dank, dirty room. All right. Well, on we go. And he opens up the door and he kind of walks out. And he kind of takes in everything.
We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's go next to Lorna. So Lorna, please describe yourself and where we would find you.
Okay, so Lorna is relatively young. She's a teenager, and she has kind of been like exiled basically by her family. So she lives out in the creepy, crawly, foresty areas and does creepy, crawly, foresty things. And so like that's pretty much like all she does is like scavenges for food and hunts, and then lays in the dirt and talks to creepy animals. She's a simple gal, simple needs.
Okay, so you're out in the by your hut in the forest, and you see a band of elves approaching you. They have the telltale marks of the elves, these kind of horns coming out from their heads, and they begin kind of coming over towards you. They look like they're in urgent need.
Do they look like they are coming with intent to talk to me, or like...
They have their weapons drawn, but they don't seem to be directly attacking you, or else they would have shot you by now.
So... Okay, so I guess her initial reaction would be to try and hide. Have they seen me?
You grow a stealth check.
Alright, here we go.
You could do it going up in volume as well a little bit, Sid.
Okay, let me move this here. And just, is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. Let me find the thing. Everyone just, hang tight. Things are happening.
Haven't seen it, Bellwood. 7. You do not remain unseen. This band of elves quickly surround you. And one of them steps forth and says, I apologize, but we need your assistance.
Why me? Who sent you?
You're the only one about.
Oh, I don't think I can do much for you, but what do you need?
We're from the Autumn Elves, the Palace of Autumn. Our friend, he's gone missing. Have you seen him?
I haven't seen any other person anywhere around here.
Are you sure? He's about this high. He has the same look as the rest of us. A long sword on his hip.
The only things I've seen here are the rats and the bats.
Okay. Well, thank you. If you see anything, then send word to the Autumn Palace.
I absolutely will. I wish you well. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance.
He nods, and the band of elves turn to leave, leaving you alone. What'd you do?
I mean, she would probably just go back to what she was doing, like sitting in a like secluded area and like eating anything that she had found earlier that day.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, you sit around for a little bit after the elves have left, talking to the creatures, when one of your friends, the rat, comes along. He's a long-time friend of yours. You get along quite well. And yeah, there's a connection. He seems a little off today. Seems a little weird.
Yeah, she would like sort of sit down maybe against a tree or something and be like, "So, what's up with you today? You're acting strange."
He doesn't respond. It's like he can't hear you. His eyes are like, you know when a rabbit has like myxomatosis? It's got these weird colored eyes. Kind of what he's got.
Yeah, she'll sort of get closer to him and like snap in his face a little bit and be like, "Come on, out with it. You look sick."
Begins to like, cough. It looks like it's kind of like trying to be sick, but it can't be sick because it's a rat. And just like begins to kind of let out this strange, like coughing, spewing kind of racking of its body. Its whole body moves with it, and it lets out this kind of like what looks to be this kind of like green sort of colored mist, like spittle, that comes with it.
Yeah, she would do anything she could to help him. Maybe like give him any sort of water like in front of him or anything like that. She wouldn't like leave him because of this.
Yeah. It seems like it is quite sick. And as you kind of tend to the creature, it kind of gets worse, and the coughing kind of gets worse. More and more of this kind of green mist sort of comes out. It's only in little like puffs and little clouds at first, and then it's kind of more and more until the creature wheezes its last. Even as you're trying to get it to like eat, it won't drink, and you realize that kind of encircling you is this mist. Almost in like a cloudy halo around you, and the creature is dead.
Well, yeah, she would be extremely upset by this. Like, definitely crying about it. This is like sort of the only family that she has is these like creepy critters that are around there, and she'll stand up at this point and try and escape the mist if possible.
Yeah, I mean, you try and like step over it, move through it, I suppose, to get away from it, as it seems to be quite noxious and potentially dangerous if you inhaled it. And as you try and step through it, it moves with you and around you and begins to sort of like coalesce, spinning faster and faster, moving towards your like neck until it's swirling around your neck, as if it were like a collar of mist.
There's no way I could like climb out of? Is there like a tree or something I could climb upwards?
Yeah, you can definitely climb up a tree. Yeah.
I'll try and do that.
Yeah, give me an acrobatics.
Okay, I will do that. That is that one.
Wow. That's the first roll of the game as well, I believe. No, it's not. We had an Arcana check earlier. Your first roll of the game at the very least. No, did you not? You roll something earlier? Oh, you rolled a stealth check. Yeah, you're right. Certainly the worst roll of the game so far. You try and get up the tree, and you just can't get anywhere. Like this mist like wraps its way around your neck and then goes into your mouth, and into your eyes, and this horrible gagging like mist, it just makes you gag because it just tastes like rotten eggs that are being stuffed down your mouth, and it's like warm and roiling and moving. It goes down, you try and retch, and it goes into your eyes and burns away until your eyes close from it and open, and you're in a room, and there's a table and a piece of parchment before you.
Okay, so now that I'm in this room, does it still like taste horrible? Can I see?
You have the aftertaste in your mouth, but the mist is gone.
Yeah, she'll probably like kind of be on all fours and retching, trying to see if she can get any of this like out of her system before she really realizes where she is.
Mm.
And then stand up and look for anything that could indicate where she is. Anything. I guess we'll pick up the piece of paper and see if there's any writing on it, any message or anything like that.
Yeah. You pick it up and you see the writing appear with what appears to be a red ink, perhaps indicative of blood or just a red ink, who knows, and the voice in your head. Welcome. You are not at home.
Well, I don't have one, so I never am. Can you tell me where this is?
This is a place where once one master ruled over this land, and now the child that was is in charge. The former master needs your assistance.
With what?
Reclaiming his kingdom.
I'm not sure that I can really be of any assistance. I tend to get in the way of things.
That is the very idea.
Who are you?
I am your friend.
Are you responsible for killing my other friend just a moment ago?
Responsible? No. That is the child that once was.
I see. So, well, then what do you need me to do?
Walk out that door.
Okay. And she will do that.
You walk out the door. Fucking hell, Pale Lord. Why do I click these links? Fuck. Right. Reminder not to click links. This cut to Rem. Talk to me about Hiram.
Yes, Hiram is it's okay. He's a like I said, a lizard folk sorcerer. Although physically he is much more of a dark gray scaled creature. Very, very tall, very kind of hunched over. Looks very, very just burly. He wears a purple sort of patchwork, almost like a trench coat, just a long leather sort of cloak that just goes all the way down to his toes. On a normal person, it would completely engulf them. On top of his head, he has a sort of a purple hat that matches the cloak, also made of leather, with bits of bones and teeth marked around him. A necklace made of little baubles, since he is magically inclined, decorates around his neck, and like another one kind of around his chest. They're just all covering him. It's like several bangles, almost like Mr. T would have.
Nice.
And he's just kind of got this almost austere, sort of elfish level of snootiness, which is very odd coming from someone who looks like a just, big, burly monster creature.
Nice. And where would we find you on a normal, morning, afternoon?
On a normal day, his backstory, he and his sister both hatched from the same egg. Yeah, they were, whereas some people are humanoid characters raised by wolves, so to say, he was actually raised by people. He and his sister, Ingrid, both grew up in a very secluded farming area near where the woods meet the swamp. Their supposed foster parents were extremely reclusive, and such. Hiram and his sister became just so. His sister developed some magical prowess when she was younger, whereas Hiram was more so used as a strong farm laborer, similar to a Clark Kent storyline in Smallville, how he just could help around the house so much with his strength. Yet Ingrid became ill and later passed several years, I'll say, before this particular part of his life story takes place. And even though he was raised by people, in his traditional, this lizard folk colony, how they would bury their dead was they don't bury their dead. They believe that actually consuming people is a way to absorb their power and their ability and to bond closer with them. So by doing so, he kind of absorbed some of his sister's magic, and that is the origin of his sorcerer power. Being a wild magic sorcerer, he's not used to it. He doesn't have the attunement that his sister did, but right now he could be found possibly outside the farmhouse, using both his magic and his strength to set bales of hay or stack crates meant to be shipped into town, while looking like a very, very out of place, just lizard folk out in the middle of...
Okay. I like it. So you're stacking bales of hay. You're looking through the shipments that have come in, and are, set to go off to the next town. And you notice something slightly odd about this batch of crates that you have in. They are unmarked and unnamed, so you have no idea who to send them to, where they've come from. Seems to be some kind of cock-up somewhere along the line.
Okay, he definitely, his intelligence isn't that high, but he is able to read and put two and two together, so to say. He kind of shouts out, hey, Pa! Got ourselves a strange batch here. I don't know where it's from. Where you want me to put it, Pa? He just shouts.
Yeah, you hear a shout from the farmhouse, which like, put it in the barn, see what it is.
Well, okay then. And he kind of like, instead of using a mule to haul the cart around, he just grabs it with his own hands and puts it on his shoulder and doom, 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 like rolls it in, plop, sets it down, and all right, Pa. I've set it down here. It's all. It's in here with everything else. What else you want me to do with it?
He shouts back from the farm. I imagine you guys never actually see each other. You just shout.
No.
Yeah.
We just really good at yelling.
Yeah. He says.
That's how we talk.
Crack it open. See what's inside.
All right. Hold on. Give me a minute there. Now I just. He's going to probably want to use this moment to maybe practice some of the. His arcane power, even though of course he can just swoop it. So he's going to try and conjure up a mage hand, but when he does, the hand that appears isn't his hand. It's a bit smaller, in that this is his sister's hand. When he does use his magic, it's really his sister's power welling within him, so he connects a little bit with her, and that's the hand that grabs the crate lid and pulls it open, if it's not nailed shut.
Of course, yeah. It does, it does like crack open as the spectral hand of your sister opens up the crates, and inside you see lines of obsidian black shards.
Hey, Pa, whatever it is, it broke. I don't know where to get the refund from because there ain't no name on it. Did you?
Oh, goddamn! See if you can fix it, boy.
Fix it? Okay, hold on, boss. Let me try this. Okay. I was really bad at fixing stuff. I broke a lot of things. He's gonna think it's me who did it, really. And he's going to cast mending on the shards and see if he can make them piece together into something that resembles an item with a purpose.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's probably like a lot of repetition of mending cantrip as you piece bits together of this. You put one bit of shard together, and then it's like a big Rubik's cube of these broken shards that form into, and they're only small little shards, but they form together into a rock about the size of your hand. And it looks like that is the purpose of it. It looks like every piece is now smooth.
Pa, did you order a giant glass-shaped looking rock? Because that's all I can make out of this thing.
He says, hell no.
What do you want me to do with it now? I got this crazy, creepy looking rock out here in the barn. I mean, I don't know what to do with it.
What does it do?
Well, I don't know. Give me a minute, Bob. I'll try some more of my voodoo nonsense on it. And he is going to cast... where is it? Do I have that spell? Let me check. I'm getting my spell list with my other character confused with this character's spell list. He does detect magic. So, give me a minute. He's gonna go through all of his little chants, maybe look through the book his sister had, and take a swig of whiskey.
Okay. So you take a look and try and identify what the hell this thing does, or what it is. As far as you can tell, it can take you from one place to another depending on where the other stone is. So this stone would correlate to another stone, its twin, and using magic, one could use it to teleport from A to B, or B to A, and so forth.
Hiram, of course, that's a magical item, so he's very interested in it. It's just ways that he kind of can reconnect with his sister, and then he can, if he does feel any connection with her spirit from his weird macabre natural just way that he buried her, so to say, then using this magic item it's just something he will enjoy doing. So he's going to try to check it out, maybe attune to it whichever way possible, hold it up in the corner of the room like he's trying to get a cell phone signal, or even just breathe on it kind of weird, rub it like a lamp. Yeah, put it on top of the mule's head and see what happens.
Yeah, you try all the tricks in the book to turn this thing on and get it working. And after you've attuned to it, and you kind of you hold it, you sense it coming to life, and the energy from it begin to come alive, and it kind of cracks open just at the top, as though it were. I guess if you're taking the top off a lamp, right? It kind of just cracks itself open, and this seeping green mist pours out and kind of pours over your face as it's being held in your hands, and you sense, all you can do is just breathe in, despite the feeling not to, and your eyes choke. You feel this horrible green, noxious, rotten egg sensation as it travels down your throat and into your eyes and makes you kind of very, very squeamish. And the problem is you would scream out to your pa, but you can't because you're inhaling at the same time. Yeah. And as the mists go into your eyes, you close them until you open them once again, and you find yourself in a room with a table, with a piece of parchment and an open door.
He's going to probably wheeze a few times just to he climbs up, stands up like so, and looks around. Doesn't know where he is. He sees the parchment laying down and rubbing his eyes. He leans down real close, maybe picks it up. It's probably like a sticky note in his hand, who knows. Just to get a good look. What's all this?
You take a look at it. You see writing appearing on it in a red script, and a voice in your head. Welcome. You are not at home.
Well, I see that we're stating the obvious now, so where the hell am I at?
You're at
Mr. Paper?
You are... It's a female voice. You are... assuming the gender of Paper, goddammit. The voice says, you're at the place which is now ruled over by the child that once was.
At the place ruled by the child once... I don't do these kind of riddles. They confuse me a bit. Is there a way to be more specific than on that?
All you need to know is that a former master needs your assistance, and you are going to give it.
Oh, am I now? I'm just going to give my assistance all of a sudden. Well, that's very forward of him. How exactly am I supposed to just give it to him of my own free will if I don't want to?
Because there is no way back. Once the gate has been opened, there is no way back. If you wish to leave, then you will help him.
He's going to get just a very start like crumpling it up. That's what I get for cracking open the creepy black ball of whatever the hell that was, and just throw it on the ground and start stomping out the door, grumbling to himself.
Yeah. I mean, the door is already open, so you just head straight out of it.
Yep.
And last but not least, let's go with Alia. So, Sil, talk to us about your character.
Well, Alia is a wood elf. She grew up in, she was actually given by her parents to the Temple of Chauntea in Silphalanor at a very young age. She doesn't remember her parents at all. They realized very early on that she had absolutely no aptitude for learning, well, pretty much anything. And so she was given to the temple to basically be raised there to help. And she did. She learned very well, actually, how to heal people. That seemed to come very naturally to her, and it seemed like Chauntea really spoke through her in that sense, in giving healing to others. So yeah, she learned the history of Chauntea and Sylvanas, although she really doesn't recall those kind of things very well. She just kind of feels the light of Chauntea speak through her when she applies healing magics. And yeah, she's definitely a favorite around the temple, especially amongst the youngsters. And during a large city fire a few years back, she actually rescued and healed a young boy who turned out to be the nephew of the Lord of Silphalanor. And because of this, she was given the reward to be sworn into the Order of the Vestiges of Hope, which is actually quite a high sacred order given to those, a position given to those that show the most devotion to Chauntea, really, and the most predilection towards having Chauntea's light speak through them. And so on this day, she is actually riding northeast to Nordfell to basically bestow some healing upon a sick child up there that they've been asked to help with.
Okay.
And yeah, so her and a fellow member of the Order of the Vestiges of Hope are currently riding up through this cold wintry morning. There's mist all about, and anytime that she's is left to her own thoughts like this, she finds herself in prayer and basically just trying to talk and hear the voice of Chauntea in the air around her, and feel the light of Chauntea shine on her.
Fantastic. Okay, so yes, you are riding northwards today with your companion. Her name is Meriel, and the two of you. It's not long before you arrive at your destination, a small hut in the middle of the woods, and the mother, who seems very worried, comes over to you and says, "Are you the clerics they sent?"
Yes, ma'am. How can we help you? Praise Chauntea on this beautiful morning.
He says, my daughter, Pyrea, she's fallen gravely ill with a strange sickness. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, ma'am, let's go take a look.
She looks very worried and lets you into her house. And you see the little girl before you, who does look pretty gravely ill, who has a kind of like a shallowness of breath, is sweating quite a lot, looks like quite a fever. And little girl is asleep, looks almost comatose. There's a strange smell in the air as well, like rotting.
Okay. Alia sort of reaches inside and sort of, reaches out to Chauntea and is like, this seems very odd, Chauntea. Please let your light shine on this small child. And she walks over to the child and sort of puts her hand on her forehead and feels the temperature and turns to her mom and is like, This is very strange. This is not like anything I've seen before. And she puts her hand on the child and attempts to do a cure wounds.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a roll. Mother looks very worried as well.
So that's an 8 on the healing for cure wounds.
Yeah, you see some some color being returned to the child's cheeks, and you realize, as you know, this is kind of like diagnosing at the same time, that it's not just a wound which needs to be like sealed. There is something wrong with the child's like essence. There's something on a more like magical level which is happening with the child at the moment. And whilst you've cured whatever kind of like fever was upon the child, there's still something very wrong with her. And her mother says, is she going to be better now?
This child is still gravely ill, I'm afraid. The light of Chantia will guide me to the answers, but I must stay here and help her and see her through this night.
Very well, then. Take this chair, you can sit by her side and get some rest.
And Alia will actually decline the chair and just kneel in front of the bed and start praying to Chantia and asking her for guidance on how to cure this child and how to see this evil spirit leave her.
Yeah. You pray throughout the night, and the mother kind of falls asleep, as does your companion, who's on watch, and you stay with the child until you hear her like coughing in the night, and she kind of and you see that there's this strange green mist which seems to be coming from the child.
She'll like lean forward and examine her and try to sort of touch her head again and do whatever menstruations she can think of to try and help the girl.
Yeah. You try and help her with her coughing by sitting her upright and seeing if that does any help, but the spluttering kind of gets worse until she kind of like leans in quite close towards you and just lets out this kind of like spewing tide of vomit and spittle and green mist, which just like pours itself over you across your clothing. It's almost projectile vomit, and the gas just kind of like fills the room. And you're holding back your breath as it like sweeps in around you, and the child, you can see, has like breathed her last as she lets out this huge tide of vomit.
Okay. Alia just sort of jumps back a little bit, and then reaches forward to see if there's anything she can do for the child.
Yeah, you go and like check her to see if she's okay, and as you're doing this, you breathe in a little bit. The child is dead, and the mists roll into your mouth and fill your mouth with that same rotting egg, delicious warmth that roils down the back of your throat and touches your eyes as it burns. You awaken to find yourself in a room, a table, a piece of paper, and a closed door.
Alia she looks around. This must be a sign from Chantia. She's trying to tell me something. She walks forward and picks up the parchment, even though she knows that she's not going to be able to actually read anything that's on there.
Yeah, you pick it up and you hear a voice, and a writing appears in that same red scrawl reminiscent of blood. Welcome. You are not at home.
Chantia? This is not your usual voice.
Perhaps. But this is not the usual place.
What is it that you would have me do?
We are in the realm of the child that once was. and its old master needs our assistance.
A child? Is it well? Does it need help?
Child is beyond our help.
Beyond our help?
The old master must be reinstated. His kingdom must be his once more.
Is this the will of Shantia?
It is.
Then what can I do to help? And she just sort of smiles very naively.
Open the door.
She steps forward and opens the door.
All right, so what's behind the door? The group of you are the ones all stepping out of separate kind of huts and rooms, apart from Hiram, who is stepping out of the same hut as Twig only a few moments after him. You step out into a dark, cold ground with the same green mists underneath. In the center of this courtyard, around which all of your huts converge, is a giant edifice made out of wood which is on fire. Some of you would recognize this to be a crucifix, a cross, upon which there is the body of a man who is long burnt alive, and body has been destroyed until there's nothing left but this black charred bones. And this huge edifice, which is well over 50 feet tall, with the man of normal proportion, but upon this gigantic shard of wood which looks like it's been carved out, he's nailed in the skeleton or what is left of it, and the fire seems to be burning this hot red flame. And the stone, a tombstone or plaque in front of it, reads, "Here lies Strahd von Zarevich, former ruler of Barovia." And as a group of you step out and witness this huge burning edifice, a woman steps out. She is old. She's got both of her eyes appear to be blind. She's covered in a shawl, a matted old shawl, and she appears to be kind of like hobbling towards you guys. And she looks at the edifice, she looks back to the group of you who are only illuminated by this strange fire, red fire. She says, "Welcome, everybody. I know you didn't have much of a choice in coming here."
Does her voice match the voice that I heard?
It does.
Okay. Hiram is just going to look around and very confused. Can I get some answers?
She said,
Twig is kind of running around on all fours, like dragging his fingers in the ground. This isn't home. This is not home. This is not home. Well, this is not home. I'm not safe here. Who are you? What is this place?
She says, "You are in the realm of Barovia. Well, a child of sorrow now rules. Before you lies Strahd von Zarevich, dead to all appearances, lost, this realm scattered to the winds. And with his death brings the death of your own worlds, the destruction, the plague, chaos and war eternal. The corruption which has seeped into your own worlds stems from here. Where once we had order, now all we have is chaos. We need our former master to return to once again rule over these lands.
It doesn't look like there's much we can do for him.
Yeah, I think he if you want to wait a minute. Sickness in our lands?
Sickness, plague, and destruction. Walks
Going on
or
right now?
words. For some of you, it has already come. He looks towards Oberon. For others, only the first signs show. But it will come. Same as it came to these lands. That's why underneath your feet right now writhe maggots. And looking down between your toes if you're not wearing any shoes, or beneath your boots, underneath this thick mist, underneath when you sweep it past, are indeed maggots that writhe and crawl underneath the earth.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, Hiram doesn't like this. He's probably going to start like looking for a place that is not covered in maggots and just that's just gross, nasty. He don't want to have a. He's running around just like a bull in a china shop.
Why you pick Twig? Twig have nothing to do with these people, this man on fire. Why pick me?
You are the ones that were chosen. I do not know why.
What was the criteria of this process of choosing?
Again, I do not know why. But he chose you. And she looks up towards the edifice.
Great. A charred corpse chose us, and we are now plucked from our home, standing in a realm where the dirt is indeed maggots, and we have to go bring balance to a child who is constantly sad.
Balance, no. Death is what you will bring to that child.
Oh, death. Death is something I can do quite well. Just point me to the direction and I'll take care of it right now.
Yeah, I gotta get back before the harvest comes in and before everything dies from this sickness that is seeping out of here. So, I'd like to get this done ASAP.
Very well. And you may start in the village of Barovia, not far from here.
Hiram's gonna do one of those.
East. And you
East.
will see the destruction that the child of sorrow has brought, and will bring to your worlds too.
Oberon kind of like shifts like a strap that goes across his chest that holds his quiver. All right, well, I don't know about you four, but I am not going to waste the day away. I'm going to go kill that child.
Yes, I believe it is Shanti as well that I too come with you.
Hiram, he's eager to get away from the maggots and just, yeah, come on, let's not dilly dally.
Dilly dally. Oh, how quaint.
He smiles a big toothy grin.
Twig will say to himself, the elves always like to hear their own voice. And like when you turn and face me, I'll realise I've said it out loud.
I look down at him and just, what?
I look over to the lizardman. Is that your pet?
I did raise farm animals, and he could blend in, but he don't belong to me. He doesn't have my brand. Although if he makes any more smart comments, he might.
I don't know who any of you people are. I stay away from people like you. You confusing. You try to teach Twig. You try and educate him and take him into the world. Why? I don't want to come with you.
I approach Twig and I kind of like kneel down, and I look him right in the eye. What are your skills?
I look at you like I blink at you, but my eyes are not in time. So one eye closes. It's kind of a rhythmic.
Like a frog.
That's how kids wink. Yeah.
I know me no. No. What?
What do you do good?
He shrugs. I never had to do before. I just live.
If I give you a rock and tell you to smash somebody in the face hard enough to kill that man, would you do it without hesitation?
Lady already gave me a rock. Do I have to hurt people?
Only if they get in our way.
People want to hurt people. Why do people always want to hurt people?
Right. Well, you will stay with, and I look around, and I look over to Alia. You're going to stay with this lady right here. She will keep you safe, and she will make sure that nobody hurts you.
She does not smell right.
You don't smell right either.
I like this one, and I put a lot. She smell like the earth. Earth is safe.
All right. Choose whoever you want to stay with. Just stick with them.
Well, that's not fair if we have to sit here surrounded by the maggots.
Maggots are good. I scoop a handful and eat them.
Hiram is very
Tastes good.
grossed out by this, possibly more grossed out than. Oh God!
I picture Twig doing that right in front of Oberon's face, and Oberon just giving this like really disgusted face, like
They're just maggots. They're good. They really fill you till lunch.
well.
That's your lunch.
Wrong.
Try. And I put up like offer you a handful of maggots, but somehow my hands are dirtier than you'd expect them to be when they're full of maggots. There's extra detritus that's been added in there somehow.
You know what?
No, thank you. Not now.
The lady, the kind of blind woman, says, "Head to the east, and you will find the village of Barovia. From there, I'm sure you can all figure it out."
Right. All right. East.
You have a way of contacting me.
And what is that?
He looks at Twig.
Oh no.
We're supposed to contact you through that thing?
I
He
kind
points
of
at Twig in general.
my hand goes to my pocket. Did you not get stone?
No, I did not get a stone. She gave you a speaking stone?
I run 10 feet away with my stone and clutch it to my chest.
Oh, I'm not going to take it, but I feel kind of slighted that she would give you the speaking stone.
If I lose stone, I go back in box. I don't want box. I don't want box. I don't want box.
And if you don't share the stone with everyone, then you also go back in the box.
I immediately throw the stone at you.
I'll try and catch it.
I don't no box. And like you can see my eyes welling up again. Like it's not just joking, right? He is genuinely terrified of being stuck somewhere.
Okay.
No box, please.
The lady
please,
begins to
please.
walk away into the mists.
All right. Well, we need to go to the east. Are we surrounded by a forest?
Yes. Surrounding your camp to your north is the forest. Eastwards, there is a path out of here. Looks like a dirt track road.
Mm-hmm. Hiram will cast light on his little bottle of booze so that it kind of glows out in front of him. And, well, I suppose we ain't getting any older. Well, we are. Damn it, how's that phrase go? Shit. Let's just go. And he walks eastward.
I put my hand on Hiram. Here, let me guide us through this forest. Because of being a ranger, I do have natural explorer, and my favored environment is the forest. So we get some bonuses. We as a group, we are not slowed by difficult terrain. When we travel, our group can't become lost except by magical means. And that's, I think, the only thing that pertains to us as a group. Cool. So I will start to lead our merry band of men and females through the
men and females.
Men and females.
Which are Iron Men. I mean, anyways.
Just give it.
Yeah, FE, periodic table for iron. So, we are going to.
That was the nerdiest fucking joke. I appreciate it. Okay.
We will start to enter the woods. Well, I will. Anybody who's coming with me can come with me, and we're going to.
Hiram's,
start heading toward Barovia.
yeah, Hiram's going to definitely say, well, I ain't losing you here, and I reach out and I cast light on your cloak, so that you shine like brightness. That way, I know where you are the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, Alia's gonna reach out and be like, yes, and may the light of Shantia guide you too, and also cast light.
Just fucking light this guy up like a beacon.
I stop and I look at them and I said, are you trying to get us killed? You're basically turning me into a giant flare in a very, very dark room.
Well, that sounds like it's not going to get us killed. It might get, you. And I take the light off of him. It's okay.
They don't attack the person in front. They'd rather attack the people in the back. Remember that.
I light up Twig.
And this light is just on me, and you caught me at the moment, and I awkwardly look up. I'm literally loading my pockets with maggots. I feel like my pockets are writhing.
I like your underoos, whatever kind of white cloth you're wearing.
I've got some cloth trousers with a rope for a belt. That's all I've got.
All you need,
and the pockets are just writhing against me. No tricks, please. No, I don't like.
Alia's like, oh well, Shantia will guide us even in the dark, and she takes the light off again.
All right.
As well.
Right. Now, if we are done casting lights and letting every wild creature of this land know exactly where we are, let us go. And I start to kind of backpedal, keeping an eye on the group kind of deal. Yeah. And then slowly turning and then walking into the woods.
As I'm walking away from Strahd, do I notice anything on him? Any other things that kind of identify him, or is it just literally a charred flame?
It is a charred black corpse at this point.
It's like a spinning Donna at this point. Okay. I'll kind of tag just behind, 10 feet behind them.
Yeah. Okay. You tag behind the group as Oberon leads you through the dark wilderness of Barovia. And as the group of you travel with one another in the darkness, Oberon leading the way, not getting lost, never leaving the trail, you hear strange noises in the night of eldritch and strange creatures. Wolves that howl a strange cackling laugh, almost like a hyena, and strange frogs that ribbit in unison together and echo one another back and forth in triplicate. These creatures here are reminiscent of those on your plane, but never truly the same. A frog with 3 eyes jumps out towards you in the darkness and almost sends you sprawling until you realize that it's just staring at you, and then hops off again into the night after feasting on some of the maggots on the floor, pulling them towards it with its tongue. It seems that these creatures are growing fat on the abundance of protein and food on the ground for them. And that everything's growing quite large in terms of the wildlife and creatures around here. It seems like there's so much food for them to live off of that they're getting quite fat and bloated. And then after several hours of walking through the cold darkness with only the illumination of 2 gibbous green moons in the sky above you to give you a pale luminescent light which casts itself upon you only when not shrouded in the mysterious clouds above. You see tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The maggoty ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet, cobbled stones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence, except for mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance. And you see a small sign which says Barovia.
Well, what a nice little hamlet.
I don't like these places. They're full of cages.
Don't worry. What was your name? Twig?
Yeah.
Branch? Stick?
Twig.
Ah, Twig. Don't worry, Twig. They won't put you in any cages as long as I'm here. But the moment I'm gone, you're going right into the cage.
Alia actually kneels down next to him and is like, yeah, Twig, don't worry. We'll look after you, and Shanti's light will shine on you.
Hiram leads into Oberon. How about a bath? Can we get him into one of those?
If we're very careful,
Right.
and we use boulders, snares, maybe a bear trap, we could probably subdue him and hold him under the water a couple hours.
I reply to her, what animal is Alia? Shanti.
Shanti is all around us. She is everything.
It's like insect, like flies on feces.
Yes, little Twig, even in the flies on the feces, she is found everywhere.
Like, I'll see some flies.
Accurate.
There's some Ashanti. Why do you worship flies?
I worship Shanti. She must be worshipped. She will save us.
Why you rely on someone else? You don't look after yourself. Are you infant? You can't.
She gives me the strength to look after myself.
The maggots give me strength, and I kind of just fill my mouth.
That's tasty.
You want some? They're better than Shanti.
Elia's like, no, that's fine. I've eaten. That's quite all right.
You're lost. There's no more here. The ground hard.
Lorna at this point will go up to Oberon and be like, I have to admit, I doubted your guiding abilities at the beginning of this. Before I got here, however that happened, I met some of your friends, and they seem to have done not such a great job of keeping track of you.
Well, you've seen Galen.
I don't know their names, but they were in the same outfits.
Oh, damn. Yes, I told them to go evacuate the forest when we saw the fleshy cocoon of the woodland spiders. I opened up the cocoon and it sprouted the mist. And I entered the mist and now I'm here. It seems to me that we've been invited. Ugh.
Well, hopefully we can get this done soon and get out of here.
Definitely. I have a palace that I have to renovate. So, Oberon looks around. Is Barovia deserted at this point, or?
Excuse me. It seems as though there are a few people walking the streets at this point. Through the mist, you can make out some figures of people moving around, although at this point you can't see anyone close enough. You do spot out at the top of a hill within the small village. It seems as though there is a church, which is the only place which has lights on.
Right.
We can change that. Come here, Oberon.
Right. Okay. Well, I say we go to the church.
It seems like something is pointing us in that direction.
Probably the light. But,
Hiram is just going to set off towards that area. He's being from this small little farm town. Everyone knew who he was and knew who the creepy giant alligator lizard guy was. He still thinks that this town might have that same kind of mentality. So he's just going to saunter down the road, not trying to hide what he is. And yeah, that's how he marches.
Okay. Headed towards the Gothic cathedral of a church, you walk past people in the street who pay you no mind whatsoever. Indeed, it seems like a few of them have little mind in the first place, as you see dark, sunken, swollen black eyes and lifeless, almost dead-looking faces. The color of their flesh is white and pale, almost greyish in tone, which to Alia definitely reminds you of the child Pyrea that you were tending to only earlier this afternoon. And it seems as though they are afflicted with a similar sickness. And as you ascend your way up to the cobbled streets of the church, where mist parts around you, there are a set of double doors which are open. And thank you so much to Pike Array for subscribing. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. Subs are half off at the moment, by the way. So good time to subscribe if you want to support the channel. I appreciate it very much. And furious clicking as I get my drinks up. So yes, the double doors part before you, and you hear the chanting of a priest within who is adorned in dark robes of satin and silk, who appears to be praying to an altar of a child, and is murmuring underneath his breath, "Name forsaken child, the child of sorrow, those who are lost, those who will come before us, death, the 4 horsemen, the riders." And as you guys make your way up the steps, turns on his spot towards you. "Who enters these hallowed halls?"
My name is Oberon Glitleaf, and this is my, these are my friends. Alia, Lorna, Hiram, and he points over at Twig. Our pet Twig.
I immediately kind of disappear from when he points at me.
I lied him.
Thank you so much to Demigods for subscribing as well. I appreciate that very much, my friend.
Stop hiding.
We're looking for the child of sorrow.
His face darkens. "The child of sorrow. Why do you seek the master of this realm?"
Because I'm going to slit his throat and empty his blood on the floor of which he stands.
Oh, I'm sure you are, little elf, but you are far from home.
Exactly, and I would like to get back home.
And you think that slaying the master This place will get you back home somehow.
That's what the old blind lady implied.
Speak in riddles. You are strange folk foreign to these lands. The last time travelers came through here, there were nothing but ill tidings.
This is sort of only the lead that we have, so I think we'll take it.
He puts down his book, sets it on a pew in the church, and says, so, this is your first time in Barovia?
Oh, no, I like to come here during the springs and the summers. It's a lovely place. I plan my vacations all around it.
There is no spring or summer. He seems oblivious to your sarcasm.
Well, when do you harvest? When do you plant crops?
No crops grow here.
I gotta get out.
No life springs forth anymore.
He starts like to hiss.
I kind of sheepishly put my head around the door. Who this child that everyone seemed to be after or scared of? Why everyone scared of a child?
The child of sorrow waged a holy war against the pretender, Strahd von Zarevich. Until he was cast down from his former throne. The child now rules in his place.
So what is the child? Is he human? Is he demon? Is he celestial? What is he?
I know not other than that he is something more than just human anymore. Something greater. Something which bestows the power to his trusted priests. And he smiles, a wicked smile.
I turn to look at Illyria. It sounds like a possession. Now, I don't know if it's spectral or demonic. We used to have tons of cases of those during the Season of Decay. The necromancers would summon these wraiths and implant them into our rangers as a way of spying and being sleeper agents. So if it is indeed a specter, I know how to deal with those. We need salt and we need iron. But if it's demon, however, I've never really fought a demon.
You are just the same as at Ismark, down at the tavern, scheming and plotting against our master. Know that I will send word to him of your coming, and your treacherous ways.
Well, we can't have that, can we?
You're right. We can't have that at all. All opposed to me killing a priest.
He grabs up his book in his hands, defensively.
That book is not going to save you from my arrows.
He begins to chant, reading lines off the book and sorrow.
I would get on with it, Oberon. I would hurry.
I pull out my longbow and I knock an arrow, draw, and then I loose.
Over the sun. Yeah. Roll me an attack roll.
Let's see.
Alia just kind of gasps, like,
Ooh.
Let's see, it's a natural one. It fires right into his, into the cover of his book, which he holds up after you said your book won't protect you, and just pong, fires into his book and doesn't go anywhere. And he smiles as his enchantment and conjuring finishes, and you see something greater and worse rising out around you from the steeples. Sorry, what's the word for the things in the top? The rows of
parapets?
Wood. Parapets is a good word.
Parapets, yeah.
Parapets. Rising from the parapets of the church around you. And you see fell bats, a swarm of very big very, very big black bats with these kind of cawing wings. However, you see that they're more than just bats, for their leathery black wings, membraney and strange, pour a thick black ichor down from them, and that their bodies are humanoid. You see the naked chests of what once were men and women who have been fused and morphed into these bats. And he says, and as it happens, as he's chanting, he says, "Go forth, my children, my son!" And you see one particularly large male black bat rise and descend down towards you. So I'd like everybody to roll initiative.
Oh yeah.
I love you, Will. I absolutely adore you.
I know. All right, we'll get some combat initiative going. So let me just go around in a second once you guys have rolled, and I'll ask you what you rolled in a moment. Gonna roll for these guys too. On an 11. All right, so Bat's going on 11, as well as the priest. So let's go round. Alia, what did you roll?
A 6.
6. Okay, not so hot. Not so hot. What about you, Twig?
I got a 15 with a +3 to my initiative, if that matters, because we got 2 15s.
Okay. Oberon?
I got a 14.
Okie dokie. Lorna? 7. Okay. Lorna on a 7. And Hiram?
15 with no initiative modifiers.
Nice. Very nice. Hiram on a 15. Twig on a 15 plus. So the turnover for this combat will be, you're definitely right, Rich, will be Twig going first, followed by Hiram, Oberon, the bats and the priest, Lorna and Alia. And of course we have just hit a viewer decision. What better time as we're entering into combat. And I want you guys to tell me what rises from the graveyard. What rises from the graveyard? Underneath this line here in chat, if you'd be so kind, my friends. Rises from the graveyard. Feel free to be mean. So let's start off with Twig.
So I'm gonna yell. So I'm still kind of at the doorway of this church, yelling to Aubrey. You start this. You come into this man's his cage and you attack him. Why you do this? What?
Because he's going to tell the Child of Sorrow that I'm going to kill him.
I do not know what any of this is, and I'm gonna continue hiding outside the doorway.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
Okie dokie. That is a 15.
Very nice. All right, stealth on a 15. All right, Hiram, your turn.
Yeah, he is full ready to just start duking it out. He's mad. He doesn't like to be here, and this is his first time coming across a magic user who was not his sister. So he really wants to test his mettle against that. So he will use his Tides of Chaos ability to give him advantage on this attack roll coming up, which in turn then you can decide to have me roll on the Wild Magic Search table immediately after I cast a sorcerer spell of first level or higher until I take my long rest. And he will cast Witch Bolt at this priest at the altar.
Nice.
To try like Emperor Palpatine him on the face.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
20.
A 20 is a hit.
That will be 2 lightning damage.
Oh, damn, okay. Alright, so the priest is going to take that 2 lightning damage. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
I don't like him either.
It looks like he could probably take a couple more of those. And his like hands are scorched. Curse you all. Anything else you want to do, Hiram?
I'm going to close in on the priest while I'm doing it. Just get all as close to him as I can. Just kind of keep it, maybe to keep him from fleeing if he does try to flee. That way, I might be able to get a attack of opportunity on him if I can close that much of a distance.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Oberon.
What kind of bats are these? Like, what are they classified as? Are they aberrations? Are they undead giant bats? They're undead giant bats?
These are undead, giant bats, basically.
All right. I would like to recall some informations on these giant undead bats. If there's any weak points, is there any kind of attack patterns?
Just to do with your rangery stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
You know that they do not like divine energy. Radiant, sorry.
Right. So I turn to Illyria, and I say, do you have any kind of divine power that you can fling at those things?
Shantia will speak through me.
That's great.
Yes.
Just loving it.
That's fantastic. And I give her like a thumbs up, like, good. Great way to dodge the question. So I turn to one of the bats, and there. How many are there? There are like 3.
There are 2 swarms of them.
2 swarms of them.
Including, and then there is one separate from that, who he said was his son, who's the big one.
This is sun. Okay, so I'm going to aim my longbow at the sun and fire an arrow into it.
All right, give me a roll.
27.
Nat 20 is going to definitely hit.
And it's going to do 13 damage.
13 damage. Holy shit. That's just piercing, yeah?
Yeah, it's piercing.
Fantastic. Alrighty. 13 damage. It's not dead, but this thing definitely takes a step back as the bolt, the arrow bolt just kind of like sinks into its chest, and it's gonna... It really doesn't like that. It is their turn, and they're gonna swarm in and fly in towards you. The sun is going to attack you, Oberon.
Okay.
The son of a priest. He has multi-attack, which means he gets to do it twice. Gonna try a 23 versus your armor class.
That's a good old hit.
His second attack is a 19. Holy shit.
Oh, that is a great old hit.
Alright, in that case, I'll just add these both up. 6 plus 6. Take 10 damage.
Great.
Gonna hurt. Yeah. He is wounded and you think close to death, but still, you know, it's when a beast is trapped in a corner, it's fighting its hardest right now. So he comes in at you. The priest is going to run, which means that you can take an attack of opportunity against him, Oberon.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh, sorry, or whoever's standing next to him.
That was me.
That was you, sorry.
I'm going to attack with my bite. Ow. 17.
17 is a hit.
Deal 8 bludgeoning damage to him.
Nice. You send the priest sprawling onto the floor, knocked out, but not dead.
Okay.
But for the sake of the fight, he is out. Unconscious. That is his turn. The bat swarms are going to come in towards you. One of them's going to try and fight Alia. And let's see if they can. A 13 versus your armor class.
No, that won't hit.
Nice. And Lorna against you is a 20. You're muted, I think.
No?
Oh, okay. Okay, just didn't hear you at all. In that case, you're going to take 4 damage, minimum damage. Good roll on the attack roll, bad damage roll for them. That takes it to your turn, Lorna.
Okay, so I will go ahead and use my scimitar on whichever one is like closest to me. I guess whichever one just hit me.
Yeah, the second bat swarm.
Yeah. 10.
A 10 versus armor class is not going to hit.
All right. Would you let me roll like an animal handling to see if I can like calm them down or something? Or
It would take you an action to do that.
Yeah.
You could definitely try that next time.
Okay.
Okay.
There's that one out there.
Yeah, you probably have some druidy things that would help with that as well. Okay, that's Lorna's turn. Alia, your turn.
Well, Alia's just gonna be like, Shantia, protect me! And, well, apparently rip out my earbuds. And she's going to Sacred Flame, the one directly in front of her.
Nice.
So that's a DC 13 dexterity save.
Alrighty, 6 plus 3 to dex. 16.
It makes. And that's a...
No half damage on a miss?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything else you want to try?
No, she's just gonna stand there and hold up her shield.
Alright, it's top of round 2, and it's Twig's turn. He's hiding.
Yeah, so I can see things are going south.
Yes.
So, like, kind of feeling the heat of the room, like smelling the blood in the air. I'm going to charge straight at the one he called his son. It's slightly more human looking, slightly bigger.
Yes, close to death. We're fighting.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of pull off like the lump of wood I have on my back. It's basically a limb of a tree, and I'm just going to start swinging for the trees against it.
Do it.
25 versus AC.
25 is a hit. Holy mackerel.
That's 19 plus 6. So that's going to be 7 bludgeoning damage.
Sweet. All right. You're gonna free Oberon from this creature, as in its already weakened state. You kill it. How do you want to kill it?
So I imagine like I swing it to the floor, and like one swing takes it to the floor, but like Oberon can kind of see in my eyes that they're gone a little bit, and I'm using the end of the club and I'm mashing its face in like a man possessed, like really uncomfortably for a long amount of time.
Okay. I call out to Twig, calm down. And I go over and I kind of like try to grasp the great club and kind of like wrench him around.
The moment it like my hand goes up in your face and you can see that I've given in to something, and the club is like poised to swing at you, but you see just a glimmer in my eye, and it stops.
Nice. Yeah. You see that the what once was a boy, the son of this priest, whilst has died on your blade, still seems to be like the nerve ends are like wriggling and moving and twitching. His body is still spasming. Sorry, your great club, not your sword. So that is your turn, Twig. It is dead, but it's still pulsating. Hiram, it's your turn.
Okay, how many villains are still active?
We have Bat Swarm number 1, Bat Swarm number 2, still going. The priest and his son are out of the fight.
Okay, so we just got just the 2 swarms left. Hiram, then with the priest, unconscious down at his feet, he's still got his eyes focused on him. He's got blood on his lips, and he's just going to murmur, "You ain't through yet, Ingrid. He's still beaten." And he's going to continue doing damage with the Witch Bolt, since he can just, after you hit first with Witch Bolt, as long as they don't break the 30 foot, you can keep
doing it, yeah.
zapping him with it. So he's just going to zap this priest with the Witch Bolt again, and his eyes are he's fully into it. He's ready to...
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty, like, he's lying there prone. You can basically coup de grace him.
Yeah, I'm going to then coup de grace him with the Witch Bolt by, it's time to come out, Ingrid. And then just try to splatter him all over the altar.
Yeah, nice. Describe, I mean, like I said, it's a coup de grace. Describe to me how Ingrid kills the priest.
It's for a moment, everyone sees this sort of much smaller, maybe 3.5 foot tall, female lizard folk just appear next to Hiram, as with a hand reached up onto his arm, and another hand out as they're at the witch bolt lightning kind of flashes from his hand over to hers, but it's just a quick blink of the eye as Ingrid does manifest for a moment, and you see the guy's face just char up, blacken, and then it explode backwards. He hits the altar, boom, tumbles over it, and leaves a red smear as the lightning fizzles to nothing. And Hiram looks down at his hands like he's never done this before, and it feels great.
Nice. Yeah, you feel the power, and the power feels good.
That's right.
All right, Oberon, it's your turn, my friend. You got two of these bat swarms in front of you. The sun lies dead at your feet by Twig's great club.
Oberon kind of like puts a hand to where the sun kind of gashed him pretty bad on his chest, and he like looks over at the bat swarms, and he takes a couple arrows and tries to like kind of fire them into the arrow the
Swarm.
bats, the swarm kind of volley style.
Nice, you're putting the legless.
Yeah. 11.
Ooh, let me see. Is that 11 gonna cut it? No, you are close, but just off.
Okay. Well then.
So yeah, these just arrows are gonna fire out, and the bats are pretty swift. They're pretty quick at avoiding things. They kind of dart out of the way. Their wings bearing them aloft to escape your arrows. Taking it to their turn, the first bat swarm is going to fight Alia again, seeing if they can get a purchase. A 21 versus your armor class.
Yes, that I'm pretty sure that'll hit.
Yep. Yeah, you take only 5 damage as they just kind of gnaw and bite away at you. They are hungry for your blood and seem to be goaded into it. The more blood that they drink from you. And Lorna, the second swarm, was attacking you, so they're going to give you a 22 versus your armor class.
Yeah.
I'm rolling well, can I say. You take 8 damage.
Well, I'm down.
Alright, Lorna goes down as this flurry of bats engulf her. Taking it to the end of their turn. And Lorna, your turn, so you can roll a death saving throw.
Okay. Things are happening. I'm doing it.
You're like, I don't know if it's just on my end, but you seem super soft. Volume wise. Might just be because loud music is playing, but I hear everyone else a bit louder. And 18 is a success, though.
Yeah.
Sweet. That is Elia's turn.
Alright, she's again gonna call on the help of Shantia and attempt to sacred flame these fuckers to the face.
Nice. Do it. So they need to make a dex save?
Yeah, dex save, DC 13.
Alright. That is a +3. Damn, I'm rolling good. I mean, it would have been 1 point of radiant damage if that's any.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, top around 3. Twig, it's your turn.
I'm gonna like kind of turn from staring down Oberon, and I'm gonna kind of run across the pubes and start swatting madly at the bat swarm. The one that was around Lorna, because I see her go down. So I'm gonna start madly swatting for a 25 versus.
Yeah.
Let me try and roll one more time just to make sure it gives me something different.
Yep.
Oh, 24, yeah.
And a 26, yeah, super different.
So that's going to be 9 bludgeoning damage against these.
Alright, 9 bludgeoning damage against the swarm on Lorna, which is a second one. Alright, how do you beat these bats to death?
I imagine my swings kind of every swing hits 2 or 3 different bats, so they're flying off in every direction. I'm kind of focused on what I'm doing now, so yeah, I'm just into it. I've got my kind of teeth gritting. I'm stood beside her, trying to protect her as much as I can.
All right. Yeah, they squeal as they die. Hiram, it's your turn. You got 1 swarm still standing, still flying. You are muted, my friend.
No, I am not.
Mhm.
He's going to turn from the exploded corpse at his feet, and then just stomp his way towards the bat swarm, and go in with his teeth. He's going to just go full bite, trying to snatch as many as he can in his mouth, and chop. That's a natural 1.
A natural 1. Ain't gonna do it.
Bites his tongue.
Yeah, bite your own tongue. It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
it really hurts.
Well, then I will use my Hungry Jaws ability to, as a bonus action, make a special attack with bite.
Nice.
I'm going to try that again.
Bite your tongue real hard this time.
Hey!
Oh, that's more like it. And that 1 followed by a nat 20. That's the way to follow it up, ladies and gentlemen.
So deals normal damage.
Was the
so-
hat always on his head? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
Oh man.
It's not a hat. That's a tumor that we don't like to talk about.
All right.
It's not a tumor.
It's my twin. I rolled both 1s on that. Yeah, but 4 damage total, and I gain temporary hit points equal to con modifier. So
Sweet.
As I chow down on some of these
Severely
bats.
weakened the group of bats, but they are not quite dead yet. Oberon, it's your time to shine.
Let's fire another volley of arrows into the swarm of bats.
Why not?
Dad, what the schnacks.
Indeed. Well
Yeah,
said.
9.
9 is 9 in this case. I think that speaks for itself. That is the bat's turn. They are standing over Lorna's corpse, so they're going to fight Oberon, who's dared to besmirch their honor by killing them on a night. Man, I haven't rolled under a 19 so far. 19 versus your arm class.
Wow, that hits.
This guy's got like a +3. I'm rolling ridiculously. You take max 9 damage.
I am down.
There we go. 2 of them down. That's how we like to play. 2 down. The end of the bat's turn. Lorna, it's your turn. Time for another death saving throw. With 1 success, 0 failures. Looking good.
I feel like you jinxed me by saying that.
Yeah.
2!
Ooh. Ooh. Well, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. By 1. Which would have been very bad. But yeah, so that's 1 success and 1 death saving throw failure. So you're looking evens right now. Even Stevens. Alia, your turn.
Once again, she is going to just beg Shantia to help her rid these foul creatures from the world for another sacred flame. So another DC 13 dexterity save.
All right, let's see if these creatures can. I mean, with my rolling today, let's see. Also, Laura wants to use her wild magic surge for you, Oberon. Roll me a D10,000, if you'd be so kind. These guys roll a 17.
6820.
All right, I will look that up in just a sec. Is a 17 a save?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, that is Ellie's turn. Top of round 4. Twig, it's your turn. I'll look up this wild magic.
So I see another one of the party go down. So I charge over and start swatting the other one. This is probably where I fail for being cocky. Nat 1.
Nice. You totally nailed that. Everyone's just shanking it. And oh my god, I've just read the wild magic surge. Please nobody spoil this one in chat. Because this one's great. Alright, that's Twig's turn. Completely shanks it. Hiram, your turn.
Yeah. So with party members dropping, he's ready to just drop this last bat, and he'll go in, bite some more, just almond all the noms. Ow! Natural 20.
Oh baby, double nat.
Boom.
Double nat 20.
Double
That's
nats.
double critties.
Double critties.
You're just
You're
pouring those critties out right now.
That's right. Two legit, 2 crit. He's gonna 6 bludgeoning damage as he chows down on a bat.
How do you want to kill these bats?
He just starts snatching them out of the air and chomping on them, ripping them in half, slinging them all over the place. He gets very just like into the moment, and to the where
He's
about a
feeling
few
it.
seconds after he tears them apart, he has to calm down a little bit as he just simmers back to Okay, they're gone. They're dead.
I like it. We will stay in combat order, seeing as 2 of our party are down. Otherwise, we would resume into normal play. However, Oberon, it's your turn. You vanish.
Great.
That is
Fantastic.
for a bit of meta knowledge. Target vanishes until the caster dies or gains a level.
Who's the caster? Is that Salty? All right, well, I guess I gotta go kill Salty. Be right back, guys.
How many people you got to kill in this adventure?
I'm gonna say, it's until the party levels up, and then you will unvanish. Luckily enough for
by
you guys,
vanish, do you mean like invisible, or just vanish as
He's
in
gone.
he's up?
However,
He went home.
However, for a bit more meta knowledge, I mean, like, you guys are level 1, right? So, like, yeah, leveling up happens quite quickly, often in the first session. So, Oberon is zip, out of space. Lorna, death saving throw time.
Okay.
1 success, 1 fail.
4.
2 fails, 1 success. Okay, somebody better get some stabilizing checks going on here. Alia, it's your turn. Or maybe our cleric.
I will. I think I'm gonna move over to her and do some curing of the wounds, and just be like, Shanti, bestow your light on this fair creature, and yes, let's roll some healing. There you go. Have
There we
some
go.
5 healing.
5 hit points are restored to you. And as we come out of our combat, you guys find yourselves with the bodies of several bats around you, the exploded corpse of the priest, and the still quivering corpse of the boy bat child thing abomination. Lorna is healed by Alia, still feeling pretty rough, but much better. Oberon has disappeared somewhere. You guys saw him vanish before your very eyes. And the rest of you are, you're in the church, which seems to fall quiet once again.
Did you say the priest was like, he had a book or something he was reading out of?
He did. He
Okay.
did have a book.
Hiram is he saw that Oberon disappeared, so maybe this priest's magic or whatever had something to do with it. This is a new world. There are weird things, and it could be magic. That's his go-to for everything. So he's going to dig around and snatch up probably this blood gut covered tome that's still got the arrow in it, I will assume.
Indeed.
And just flip through it.
Yeah, roll me a sanity. Oh wait, wrong game. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Pretty
A
damn
dirty
good.
20.
Dirty, filthy 20. I love it. You feel a pressure upon your mind as you open the book. And thank you so much to Mythos86 for subscribing. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you guys so much. All these beautiful subs coming in today. Yes, you feel a pressure upon your mind as you read the book and open its tenebrous pages. And it's something is trying to assault your mind, but you hold it back. And, sorry, in terms of the contents of the book, if you want to have a quick read to see what it is, it's a holy text. It's a text about the Church of the Child of Sorrow.
Okay. Do I get to read enough of it, or do I have to end up closing it before making another save?
You can definitely have a good read before you'll need to make another save.
Okay. All right. So I just have I'll just make a little note in my notes that
The moment everything died down, I would have yelled at the top. I'm like, "What the fuck? Why would we? Why would you kill them? What did that man do?"
Well, obviously, it wasn't the man. It was. I hold open the book. The book. Here, look at it. You can't read anyways, and I toss it to Twig.
I let it like slump on the floor in front of me. What? You kill a man for that?
No, the book has some kind of voodoo spell putting on this. What used to be that man back there. He was a puppet. You know what a puppet is?
No.
Twig,
He was a pup. Yes, ma'am.
they were mad at us, and they were going to send us somewhere, probably a small box. And we don't want to go to the small box, so we had to make sure that he couldn't go tell the people that run the small box to put us in it.
Like, you see his eyes shift a little bit. Oh, yeah, they put Twig in a box.
Yes,
They
exactly.
would have. They would have.
So you protect Twig.
Yes.
That's right. That's what we did, Twig. Because this book right here, and I snatch it back up. The Child of Sorrow, what I believe is he has one of these witchcraft voodoo books that people read out of, and then he controls them and makes their mind do crazy things. This man, he might have been a good man once before, but he let that evil into his head. And now he's done some kind of witchcraft to make Oberon disappear. Now, who knows? He might have gone back home. Maybe killing this man was part of some kind of ritual, whatever, voodoo. But as far as this thing, I throw it on the ground and then cast my fire cantrip onto the book. Firebolt.
Mhm.
We have no need for it anymore.
It burns.
Where did the loud one go?
He seems to have this sort of tendency where he leaves his party and they can no longer find him.
Maybe he's scared. Sometimes when scared, people run.
I should have put a light on him.
Maybe
Shouldn't.
I start sniffing around for urine.
There's a lot.
I check out the this. You said the corpse of the sun was twitching.
It is.
Is it still?
I'll move over there as well and have a look.
It is still twitching, yes. As you look where the Great Club is basically smashed in his skull, but it looks like the tendons and the muscle spasms are still occurring long after death.
It's definitely something unnatural animating this thing. This does not seem right. This is not the natural order of things. This is not the way Shantia wants it. And I am going to Sacred Flame the corpse.
Okay. Yeah, you burn the boy's corpse away until there's nothing but bones and burnt flesh.
I like how our answer to everything is, well, this sure ain't right.
Hey, let's fire this.
This ain't right either.
Let's fire the shit out of it. It really is. It really is the Western way.
That boy ain't right. God dang it, Bobby.
There's something wrong with that boy.
It's bad.
There's something strange with that kid. Burn him.
This is how we do things. This is what you have to do to survive
It's like
in
that.
Barovia.
It's like the Rick and Morty episode of The Purge.
Yeah.
You're very strange people, burning bodies and killing children and making me do things. You promised me we're doing the right thing.
Like, no one really knows why we're here, and the only message we've gotten is from the person that brought us here, and we're supposed to kill this kid or something like that, and then we can go back. Nobody wants to be here, and nobody woke up today thinking, oh, I'm just gonna go set some bodies on fire. I tend to avoid that in my day-to-day life, but I guess that's what we're going to have to do. I know you want to get home. I need to get back. I have some unfinished business, so we're just going to do the mission that we're given and get on with it.
Also, with this being like a heathen church, Hiram has no care for it, so he's going to try and loot it and see what he can snatch out of collection plates or.
Cool.
I thought you were gonna set it on fire.
One way to make your presence known. Walk into town day one, burn the church of these people down.
This church is unnatural.
Couldn't be more. Yeah. Roll me a investigation check.
Oh man, now I know there's got to be some money in here. It's a church that's always got money. What's all around here? Ah, damn it! I don't find shit.
What's the roll?
1. 31. Not a natural one because I get the minus in that modifier.
Yeah. Yeah. You find shit all around here. Like, it doesn't look like they have any collection plates as far as you can tell. There is, however, like an entrance to an undercroft, and there is the kind of backdoor entrance to what would appear to be a graveyard area.
I poke my snout out there.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay, he's gonna. Where is it? Just kind of do like a. 11.
An 11. It smells like death out there, but then again, it is a graveyard.
Well, it's death in the chapel too, the sanctuary as well.
I mean, you have killed a lot of people in there.
We have killed a lot of things today.
You also smell a kind of acrid, acidic kind of smell, something sulfuric outside. Could be a magical component.
Ooh. I'm gonna take a ritual casting of detect magic. So it'll take 10 minutes as I just want to warm maybe over the graveyard, and I'll let other people do.
I've no idea what he's doing, so I walk straight past him.
Okay, you just step out into the graveyard during the 10 minutes, which Hiram is doing his detect magic. You got plenty of time. What do you want to do?
What is this place? Why are these stones? I start like hitting the stones with my great club. Just randomly hitting them. What are these? Why are they arranged like this?
Yeah, they have scrolling on them as far as you can tell. Yeah, I mean, for the rest of you, because I believe Hiram is going to be unable to speak during his spell casting, Lorna and Alia, you see Twig going outside and desecrating some graves.
Should we stop him? He's having fun.
He does look like he's
What are
having fun.
these things? Why you put stones here? Why stones in line?
I don't really know if I want to explain it. I think he might be upset.
Mhm.
Decorations, Twig.
They ugly. I kind of work out that if I sit on them, I can lean my back up against. Some are comfy though.
Yeah, you sit on it, having a nice old time. And as you're doing your detect magic ritual, Hiram, you see kind of Alicorn Twig sitting on all these things, and you're starting to sense a dark magic towards the end of this, and you're trying to lock in on exactly what it is and where it is, and you're like, yeah, definitely getting a lot of undead magic, getting a lot of creepy, bad stuff, and it's coming from Twig, or where Twig is, and you look up as your spell finishes, and you see that something is burrowing itself out of the ground. It is a white, but kind of covered in this brown mud from which it's been traveling through, big, fat maggot with this membraney flesh. And it seems to be able to kind of spit out the same green acidic mist that you guys have seen before, each and every one of you in a different place before. And it is rising out of the earth. It does not seem to be attacking Twig.
Get out of here, stalker.
Twig?
Do I see it? Is it on in front of me?
Absolutely, it burrows out the ground through one of the groves.
I immediately duck around the other side of the gravestone, and I'm shaking like I've never seen anything. What is this? Do you do this? I look at Hiram. Is this what you were doing?
I don't know. You the one been eating maggots the whole time. Maybe you pissed him off.
It sniffs around with its eyeless kind of mouth receptacle and kind of.
I immediately start desperately trying to empty the maggots out of my pocket.
Yeah.
I that probably I'm so hasty to do it. I imagine the stones in there as well. I'm just chucking everything out of my pockets onto the floor. The little talk stone, whatever it was.
We are actually briefly going to cut back to Oberon as you guys see this thing arriving out of the darkness. Fear not, Oberon. You're not out of the game yet. Well, actually, that would be the easy way out, wouldn't it? So Oberon, you disappeared briefly during that fight. It was pretty strange for you. And as you awaken, you find yourself in a palace. You're on your knees, as if bent down in like worship or praise, like on all fours. And you kind of look up and you see this decrepit, frozen palace around. And you know that you are in the Winter Palace right now. You're in the very heart of its court. Because this is the palace that you have been searching for and searching around and like scouting out, I suppose, over the past years after your great war and the season of undeath. And seated on the throne is a man who you don't recognize and appears to have a staff of gnarled, twisted, warped wood, which is white, like a silver birch kind of colored white. And everything around here, the ground is covered in a light frosting. There are icicles hanging from the ceiling above. This gentleman is wearing a fur-lined coat and has icy white eyes, as though they were blind, but they do have tiny pinprick pupils within them. And the figure looks at you and says, "Are you Oberon Glitterleaf?"
Yes.
"And why do you come before me, Oberon Glitterleaf?"
I'm unsure. I was in Barovia. And
Barovia.
I was attacked by bats. Am I in hell?
Hell? No. This place is worse than hell. Barovia, too.
I stand up. Great. Who are you? You don't look like the Archdruid of the Winter Court.
They call me the Winter King, although I don't have a court to rule over, as you can see.
So why have you summoned me here?
I haven't summoned you. You were summoned. By someone else. Or something else. You got a touch of the strange about you.
Well, I've been teleporting everywhere all day. And I'd really would like some stability right now.
Stability? I suppose that's something I could give you for the right price.
Oh, grand. And what price is that?
He runs a hand across the staff of white wood and until it rests at the very top, and you see him close his white eyes and then open them a few moments later after having cast some kind of spell. Your soul is trapped, Oberon. This is very strange. You are bound to Barovia. I want to set you free so you can come back home, and so we can have a reckoning.
A reckoning? What do you mean by that?
Well, you may have defeated the Archdruids, but didn't you ever wonder who was in charge of all this? The brains behind the operation? A demon like me?
I kind of look at him. You're in charge of the liches and the archlich. You were behind the 50-year war, the season of decay.
Well, you gotta have a hobby, you know. You gotta keep yourself busy when you're a demon bound to the mortal plane of nothing else to do.
I guess I guess I can see your point, but you've killed hundreds of my people. You have killed my friends, my family, and you want me to do what? Serve you? Join with you?
No. I figured that letting you live would be the sweetest delicacy, so we can have a showdown, if you will.
All right.
See, you got a lot of anger in you, and that is something I appreciate a great deal. So I'd like to keep you alive, so that you can come back here, and we can have, something to end all of this. Because, to be honest with you, I am so bored now that this war has been over. I have got nothing to do, because everyone is dead. Which is a side effect, I'll admit, of my own machinations.
Yeah, if you wanted it to last longer, maybe you should have picked better necromancers.
Aye, well, I'll work on that for next time, if there is a next time. But the problem is,
yes.
You want out of Barovia, your soul is trapped in Barovia. I'll work on that for you, lending you some assistance if you like. But you have to accept a part of my power.
All right. What do you want me to do in Barovia? How do I escape Barovia?
I have no fucking clue, mate. You tell me, but I'll tell you this much. In terms of what I want you to do is just keep doing you, but with a little bit of me inside of you. And he gives you a wink.
Okay.
All right then. In that
Fine.
case, just close your eyes.
All right. So he closes his eyes.
He gives you a hungry look and steps towards you, begins to circle around you, and runs a finger across your hair. Runs that finger across your cheek, down your chest. Oh, hey. This one will do nicely. I may be into the living as well as the dead.
Just get it over with.
Don't need to tell me twice, lad. And you feel a coldness within your heart. And as you close your eyes and his finger runs its way up towards your cheek and then towards your eyes, his two fingers placed on either side of your face onto each eye, you feel yourself returning to Barovia. And then you're in a dark, wet, hot place. Whatever you're inside, it's moving, it's writhing, it's roiling, and it needs to heave, and you feel this rhythmic beating of a heart as you're inside a creature being covered in its oozy, sickening flesh. And Twig, Alia, Hiram, and Lorna, you watch the maggot vomit forth Oberon from its belly, spewing itself onto the ground, and Oberon falls out.
What's the maggot do after this?
The maggot begins to move away.
Okay. All right.
Twig is kind of he's got his hands on the gravestone, kind of peering over, just slack-jawed about what he's just seen. And he can't... Are you living?
I kind of get up and I'm kind of covered in maggot mucus. And I'm like, I would like to say yes, but I feel like that would be an overstatement. Ugh. and he starts like shaking himself, sending like the just mucus everywhere.
Oberon now has perfectly white eyes.
You look blind.
He does have little pricks, tiny little pricks of blackness within them, but no, like, what's the term? Iris, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as I'm talking to him, I'm starting moving my head round to see if it follows me. You look weird.
I look down at Twig. Well, you don't look exactly normal yourself.
His eyes, and I kind of just start rapidly pointing at him, like trying to get everyone else to pay attention. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't look so healthy.
Oberon, you look a little different there. Well, your eyeballs are right. You got a bit of a white palette on them.
Oberon, where did you go?
Maybe pocket seal.
Did you run away and get eaten?
No, I was being devoured by the bats, and then I woke up in the Palace of Winter. I talked to a man who called himself the King of Winter. He made me a deal, and he sent me back here. He tries to like leave out certain parts of the story purposely.
Well, it didn't really look like a palace, what you just came out of.
Yeah, he told me to close my eyes, and I woke up in a maggot. What are you talking about, my eyes? And I started looking for something that was like reflective.
I could fetch a collection plate if there is one.
Sure. There's a like a kind of mirror that you can use to look at yourself, Oberon.
Okay, I look at myself and I see my white eyes, and I kind of like say underneath my breath, "Hell's bells, oh man." I take the collection plate and I frisbee it across the room. Great. Well, it looks like I have literally made a deal with the devil. Or what I assume is the devil.
Well, what do you get out of it?
I don't know. Other than these eyes, he said that he just wants me to take him around Barovia.
Look with your special eyes.
Is person in your eyes?
I don't know. Is there a way that I could communicate with the Winter King?
You could roll me an Arcana check.
Let's see.
You would need some kind of magical foci.
Okay. Magical foci.
He's got magical folk eye.
Let's see. I look over at Twig and I say, "Can I borrow your speaking stone?"
Yes. And I go to reach in my pocket.
Oh.
Please tell me you said, "I found it."
Oh, no, he threw it at me. I have it.
Oh.
Yeah, don't blame Twig.
He panicked. There was a box. It was a whole thing. Here.
I grab the magic talking stone and I like look into it, and I try to put all of my will into the stone, and I call out, "All right, you asshole. What'd you do to my eyes?"
You hear the voice in return. I just improved them a wee bit.
Oh, great. Is there anything else I should know? Any other abilities? Am I going to start throwing icicles? Or are they going to just like drip out of my nose? Am I going to have snot snotsicles coming out of my
I
nose.
suppose it's only fair I tell you. You're a warlock now, laddie.
I'm
And that is where we're going to wrap up tonight's session.
fantastic.
Multi-class.
Everybody gains a level.
Yeah.
Oberon gains a level in Warlock. The rest of you are free to choose whatever level you want.
Cool.
Well, thanks to that wild magic surge.
So am I a level 1 ranger and a level 1 warlock?
Hell yeah.
Shit. All right.
There we go. That brave level 2 multi-class. But yeah, that's how the dice tell us sometimes. That wild magic surge saying that you come back when you level up. And what better way? Making a deal with a warlock to get some more power. So that is where we're going to wrap up tonight's session, my friend. Episode 1 of The Return to Strahd. If you haven't watched our original series of The Curse of Strahd, a lot of fun clues, a lot of fun hints about the first season within there. No, by no means needed to play it or to enjoy, but I think there's some couple of fun things that you guys who've been watching for a long time might enjoy there. But let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find one another online? And thank you guys in chat so much for being here tonight. Thanks to you coming by. And thank you for the donations and the subscriptions as well. And of course the follows. If you enjoyed the show, come on by, join us once more. Follow the channel, turn on our notifications. We're here almost every day playing Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games like Call of Cthulhu. But yeah, let's go around the cast and crew. Let's start with Sil, what do you think of tonight?
Oh my god, it was amazing. I am so excited for this season. It's gonna be wonderfully dark, obviously extremely disgusting, and just a heck of a lot of fun. Thank you guys all so much for having me here. It's been a blast so far.
Sweet. And where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at twitter.com/Silthulu and on Twitch at twitch.com/Silthulu.
Amazing. Gareth.
Hello, that's me. I've not got anything to plug, but this is so good. It's so entwined within a story we've already told. So kind of going back to the church and seeing the guy with his son again, which was the key part that kind of got us into Curse of Strahd. That was session 1 last time, and it really pulled me straight back in. It's incredible, and it's go check that season out because it's awesome, and hopefully this base in that world is going to be just as good because it's fucking amazing. Awesome work, Will. Fun playing with you guys. Nice to play with you. Some of you the first time, some of you more than others.
Some of you for the last time.
Not some of you more than others. That sounds really bad. Whatever. Anyway, guys, it's lovely to play with you.
Yeah. Awesome.
There's one of you I don't like.
Say who. Like all of you except one. And thank you so much to Thomas Parrish, who just pledged $20 on that Patreon. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that a great deal. Let's raise some drinks and chat for Tom. Appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. Tom's going to be playing with us very soon. Let's go to Zippy Zippo.
Hi, I'm Zippy Zippo. You can find me here on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo. I'm a variety streamer. I do a bunch of games. Every Monday, we try to play a nostalgic game. We call it MS-DOS Monday. You can catch me here on Wednesdays for The Curse of Strahd. And other than that, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my birthday week, which is on Friday.
Hey. What better way to celebrate than being born again, birthed through a maggot into Barovia? What does that say? It's funny how art imitates life, eh? I'm not calling your mum a maggot. Strange. Anyway, let's go to Sydney.
Oh, bad.
I love it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. Kind of gross, but... Yeah, in a good way. And I'm excited to see where it all goes. So I'm Sydney, and you can follow me on Twitter here. It's /Sydneyak, and also I DM a podcast that just came out Monday, and it's called Wonder Quest, and you can follow it on Twitter there, and then you can listen to it on encounterroleplay.com, or I'll put a link in chat.
Yeah, the iTunes link.
because it's on iTunes now.
Sweet.
The crazy world we live in.
Wow. The
There it is.
technology available to us.
Right?
Sweet. Rem.
Yeah, it's me, Rim, at Insomniac Inc. on all my things. Had a blast. It was fun. I got to be a very different character than I've played in the past. But I write D&D Adventures modules on the DM's Guild. There's a link to my shop on my site. At the same time, I've just started streaming again. Actually, when this is all done, I'll be streaming some 7 Days to Die with my little zombie survival crew after this, and we're probably all going to get eaten, but that's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Will that also be on Podcaster? Yeah, it should be on every Podomatic, Poddy, Podbean, Pod Addict, fucking everything. They just grab feeds from iTunes, basically. So every app that you could hope to listen to, you can listen to Wonder Quest and Turncloaks on as well. We got a new episode out this Monday, so go ahead and listen to that. As mentioned before, both me and Sydney are traveling to Canada tomorrow, so we won't be streaming tomorrow, and the next time we are definitely streaming is Monday the 11th, so we have to go almost a week without streaming, which is so sad. But we'll be on the Twitters and the YouTubes and stuff like that, giving you guys updates, and you can hang out with us in Discord. If you guys don't hang out with us in Discord already, you can come by, chat along, and talk about some geeky RPG stuff, because that's what we love to do. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, guys. It's been an honor, and yeah, blame Canada. So next time we'll see you guys, I'll be in Canada, in the fair land of Canada. Looking forward to it. We'll get the stream set up, and we'll give you guys a little tour of the house. But yeah, thank you guys once more. Thank you guys, the cast and crew. Fantastic work. I loved it. And until next time, try not to throw too many net ones. We want to be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Farewell.
Right.